Hello, my name is Michael Riley. I wanted to preface this video. I've done this only once before, but I think it's necessary on this video. This video is really about, it's about 30 minutes, but it's really about eBay violating their own counterfeit policy, what they call counterfeit, knockoff, illegal product sales. And they're violating their own policy. There's a couple examples in this video of people that are, one is McCombs Supply that bought one of my products that I designed. I conceptualized, I designed, it never existed before. And only weeks after they bought it from me, they started making it, sent it over to China and started making Chinese knockoffs of my product, my 5-pin harness. And then when I contact him, they're bullying me like, you prove it's yours and all this. The McCombs Supply is selling a lot of products, not only mine that it's a knockoff, because it's not an OEM. An aftermarket, a knockoff, a counterfeit, a copy of the OEM they're all counterfeit, knockoff, and eBay considers them illegal. They use the word. In the video you see that. I actually put that in there. Their policy. So the point is that eBay doesn't allow it. Because some people are going to misunderstand, including McCombs Supply, I'm sure. They're going to try to turn it around. We're allowed to sell aftermarket parts. Yeah, you are. You can sell aftermarket parts. AutoZone sells aftermarket parts, counterfeit, knockoffs. There's aftermarket all over. You can sell it on your own website. I'm not suggesting that you can't. But eBay specifically has a policy, eBay, that you cannot sell counterfeit, copy, knockoff parts. You are doing that. And I give examples in the video, and millions others are doing it. And eBay will not respond when you report people for it. It's hypocritical and it's wrong. They're violating, eBay's violating, and you and everybody else are violating the counterfeit policy. I sent that policy to you several times and you just laughed at me. Okay? So we're going to go a step farther and we're going to make it public. And I'm making it public to eBay and you. Nobody is above the policy. It's like being above the law. That's their law on eBay, that you cannot sell products and that you can get banned for doing so and they get removed. Well, they're not responding. So this is what I have to do. I got to make the public aware of it so the public can also report. It's not fair to everybody else. And we have all these Chinese companies that are selling all this knockoff stuff that's $3, 25 cents. You know, there should be $10 or $15, but it's all knockoffs. It's not right. But the other thing that's really critically important is that the products that you're selling are the translucent connectors. And apparently you're not aware, because I made it aware. I made a point to All-Star Appliance Parts, and the guy was, we're not selling that. Yes, you are. You're selling the clear, transparent V2 connectors that have a flame rating that allows them to flame, what's called flame drip, catch on fire and flame drip, and they're dangerous. They're Chinese knockoff connectors that should not be used for the public to be safe. They do, the proper ones are the V0, and they're tested, and I put the tests right in the video so everybody can see it. It's not stuff I'm making up. And it's easy to tell the difference between the two. Very simple. One's clear and you can see through it. It's that simple. The other one is not clear. It's white. It's opaque. That's the quality product. That's a V0 that does not have a flame drip. It does not drip flame when they heat it and they test it. This one does. This is what you're using and what you're selling. All three of you that I named in the video, please stop doing it. You're putting the homeowner at risk. There's a 13 amp circuit, and if it heats up, because there's a problem with the heater, and that melts, they could have a meltdown and flame and cause a house fire. So please stop selling knockoff dangerous equipment that these connectors are on eBay. It's against eBay policy to sell knockoff counterfeits anyways, but you've been getting away with it. I know you've been getting away with it. That's why I'm bringing eBay front and center here. eBay, you need to stop allowing this. You're condoning it, and you're not responding to people reporting these people. And I suggest it's because you're making millions and billions of dollars, and you don't want to tell them not to do it because it's going to affect your bottom line. Tough. If you have the policy, enforce it. You can't have it both ways. And I'm calling for a class action lawsuit if you don't do anything about it. You're putting the homeowner in jeopardy, people that are buying products that are not safe. It's like the Chinese products that are toys that are coming over with lead in them. And we see that quite often. And if you haven't seen it, you have your head in the sand. But they keep trying to get away with whatever they can get away with. Why do you think the products that they sell on there are like 25 cents or $1, tremendously cheaper? Because it's all garbage. It's not the quality of OEM. And that's what I call garbage. And it's not safe in a lot of cases. These connectors are not safe using the wrong connectors. If they can melt and cause a flame, and the flame can drip, they're not safe. And that's the harnesses that you're selling. The one guy's like, no, they're not. Yes, they are. Apparently, you don't know anything about it. I'm an electrical engineer, and I manufacture products, and I know, and I put the proof of it right in the video of the flame tests and the ratings, V0 and V2. So, I'd like that you stop selling my product. You stole from me, McCombs, and it looks like you're selling it to other people. And they're selling on eBay as well, like All-Star Appliance Parts and this eOrbit Solutions. I'm pretty sure because their ad is exactly the same as you. I think that's just another store you have on there. You have multiple stores, and I'm pretty sure you do. Dapstar or Napstar was another one. Exact same ad as yours. So they're either copying your whole format in your store, and you're copying your pictures and copying your whole ad, the words and everything, or it's you. So I think you have multiple stores, and I'm going to be looking into that as well, of reporting you if that's not allowed. Okay, you got to follow by the rules just like everybody else. Ken and Nora did. Maybe you don't know who they are. They're the ones that founded your company. Ken and Nora McCombs. Okay? They didn't do business that way, or that McCombs wouldn't be here today. So I suggest maybe you might step up and start having some integrity and stop taking other people's products, and instead of do it the right way. Contact person and say, you know what, we'd like to sell your product. That's the way business works. Business to business. But you don't want to do that. You want all the profit, and you want to go make it in China and make a substandard part that you did with mine. And then you're selling all these knockoffs, Supco, ERP, all these aftermarket parts, which are banned. All counterfeit knockoffs are banned by eBay's counterfeit policy. Read the policy. I sent it to you a few times. And eBay, you need to start responding to reports of people selling counterfeits. I even sent it to Vero, and Vero just ignored me. That's just unbelievable. So you don't care about doing things right. You don't care about enforcing your policies. It's obvious. And so we got to go public with it and make you follow your own policies. This is not right. and your customer service needs some attention. We need people that speak English. The website's in English. We need people that speak English. A lot of you companies are going out, farming out for customer service now in the Philippines and different countries, and we cannot understand these people. They have a dialect. It's not making fun or anything else. It's just a fact. When I get a doctor that speaks from another country, I have to have somebody that speaks clearly, because I need to know something as bad, as much as important as a doctor. I got to know what's. If I misunderstand something they say, that could be devastating. It's not so devastating with this, but in everyday work, if you have an English-speaking site, you need English-speaking customer service. Clear English-speaking. And stop farming it out. If you're making billions and billions, allowing people to violate your own policies, it's not like you have to worry about paying for a little bit more for proper United States customer service reps. Why do you keep farming out? Because of cost. Because you can get them for next to nothing in other countries like the Philippines. You're making billions, and you're doing it violating your own policies. Get proper customer service reps. I've been a member for over 20 years, and it's just unbelievable. I've reported things and tried to get problems solved. It's impossible. Because these people, you don't even know if they're understanding what you're saying. And they don't most of the time. They keep asking you the same question over and over and over. You're like, I just explained it 4 times. Aren't you listening? That's how bad it is. It's terrible. So, this is about eBay and following eBay's policy, and if you're violating it, you need to stop. McCombs Supply, sell your aftermarkets anywhere you want, but eBay bans them, so you can't do it on eBay. That's what this is about, so you don't misunderstand, because I'm not quite sure that your IQ is so high in my communication with you. I don't think it is. I think it's a bully mentality. That's what I got from you. And I got proof of it in my emails. It's unbelievable. For a large corporation, you have a bully attitude towards people? That you took their and copied their design and concept? I'm the one that should be attacking you. But I'm just trying to do things reasonable here. But you attack me? Like I have something to prove to you? I have nothing to prove to you. I've got proof you took my property and copied it and made it in China with a substandard, dangerous part that has a flame drip, and it even states it's allowed to drip the flame. The V2, the connectors you're using. So, the video's coming. It's about 30 minutes. I wanted to preface this because I knew that many people would misunderstand. I go through the beginning of how this all came about, my product, because it's important that you have the whole picture. And then I get to the point of eBay and the violations of eBay's counterfeit policy. So it's about 30 minutes. It's not terrible, but it's a critically important thing. And anybody, I would like to get comments from people that have serious same concerns. I do invite those to contact me about a very potential class action suit against not only eBay, but those violating the eBay policies that eBay is not enforcing. So that may be coming your way, McCombs, and it may be coming your way, eBay, and those others, millions of you, that are violating the policies that eBay's got enforced, but they're not enforcing. So, once again, it's Michael Riley. On to the video. Okay? Have a great day. Thank you. Hi, my name is Michael Riley. It's ABA Appliance. I have developed a 5-pin harness for the Whirlpool replacement of their ice maker that they started using a 5-pin harness on their new refrigerator freezers in the freezer to plug the ice maker in. Never been used before. So there was a lot of confusion for about a year and a half, even now. And Whirlpool, as they usually do, even their customer service reps and their distributors and everything else, they never let anybody know what's going on. I worked at Whirlpool about 40 years ago, and I was in management as well as service in Benton Harbor. I was only there 8 months because first day I was there, somebody told me something that had been there a long time, said, Whirlpool, I don't think you're going to ever change anything because Whirlpool's looks at service as a thorn in their side. A thorn in their side. That was just an unbelievable statement. I couldn't believe they would say that. Any corporation or company that makes a product knows that, should know, or they're not going to last. I'm seeing some of that with Tesla right now. I was reading different things. People are just livid. No parts, no service. I mean, they're paying $50,000 to $100,000 for an electric car. Everybody knows that batteries, I'm off subject, but I just want to say this real quick. Batteries, you put them in the freezer because if they get hot, you lose the charge. The warmer a battery is, the quicker the charge dissipates. And it's just physics. So people are driving around thinking they're going to last on these cars, turning their AC on and their stereo, and yeah, well, they're going to be stranded, and they are getting stranded. Don't buy an electric car. This is all garbage. What's going on? Anyways, so it's kind of along the same lines here, just deception, and preying on people's not knowing what's going on. People buy, when Whirlpool makes a refrigerator, a new refrigerator, they usually sell and manufacture about, who knows, it could be 2-3 million of them. I've been through the refrigeration plants where they make them. When I was back in Michigan, Evansville, Indiana was the big refrigeration plant. I don't believe it is anymore, but that was 40 years ago. Anyway, so you've got Whirlpool making this new product, and instead of sticking with the modular ice maker that they changed to about 20 years ago or whatever it was, which is a proven design. This is the modular ice maker. It's got this modular head on the front. Three screws that screw it in. And then it's got the plug on the side that you can actually, there's a tab here, locking tab, and you pull out the harness and replace it. So they changed it. They went back to their old design of this head on the front is a steel plate or metal plate, and there's wiring and switches, and instead of a module that you pull off and replace, and that's it. Technicians just hated them because you really couldn't service them. You just had to replace the ice maker. And they were very troublesome, so they got rid of it. The other difference was that this harness is wired in to the old style. It's not a plug. So you couldn't pull this out. And their new ice maker it's wired in, and the harness comes out about this far. Well, guess what? The plug for the freezer is back here. So, what good is a short 3-inch plug that you got to put another plug on to get to the so that's their new ice maker, the W11517113 ice maker, something like that. So you've got these new ice makers that come out with, and now instead of being able to go all the way to the back wall with this plug, because it only comes out this far, they have what's called a jumper harness. Here's the new 5-pin plug. Now notice this is a solid white connector. It's not clear. It's not translucent like this. These are not rated at the same flame rating. In other words, these they do a flame rating on them, and it's called a flame drip rating. These are V2 terminals. They're not, in my estimate, they're just not safe because they allow these to drip. They catch on fire and they drip. Flame drips. And it catches cotton down below on fire, and then they see how long it will stay ignited. I mean, and you got counterfeiters making these harnesses, these new harnesses, in the ones that I designed in China with these translucent. Look at the difference. This is a solid white. You can't see through it. These have no drip rating. There's no flame drip. These are allowed to drip, and they do when they get hot and melt. So they're not safe as far as I'm concerned. Do you want that in your home? If it overheats, it starts melting, catching on fire, and burning your house down? I don't think so. These are what I make out of the proper rated connectors. And it's not hard to tell the difference. You can't see through them. They're white. They're opaque, what they call them, opaque, natural. Anyway, so this harness plugs into their connector that sticks out here, and then it plugs into that, and then it can plug into the back wall. It's like an extension cord. Unbelievable. The engineers, what were they thinking? Anyway, so that's what they've gone back to. Well, the problem was that they're on back order for a year and a half or plus. And everybody's trying to find out, I need an ice maker, and nobody could tell them what part number it was. The parts lookups weren't available. The parts distributors didn't have any information. They were giving them wrong information. So I had a customer of mine got a hold of me, and he ran into this situation. He just bought a new refrigerator, Whirlpool made. And so I went over and I said, yeah, I can fix that. Let me do some investigation on it too. Long story short, I ended up making these harnesses, and they got the 5-pin connector, and then the plug to plug into the ice maker, like I showed you on the ice maker there. This plugs in here, okay, locks in, and then the other end goes into the 5-pin connector in the freezer, and it's the right size, okay? It goes all the way back. So I saw the call for these. I mean, it was just unbelievable. Everybody had the problem. And there's, like I say, probably 2-3 million people out there with new refrigerators. And call Whirlpool, they have no answers. Because they don't tell their people that answer the customer service reps anything. They don't update anybody. Distributors, nobody. They just leave everybody in the dark. So I start manufacturing these, and I also start selling them on eBay. And that's what this is about. And then, so I've been selling them for going on 2 years on eBay and on my own website, and two websites of my own, and McCombs Supply buys one for me, May 3rd, 2023. And I've got the receipt. There's another video on YouTube here about it, and I show the receipt and everything else. And you can refer to that. I'm not going to probably do that on here, put it in here, but so their response is, prove it's yours. I mean, just an arrogant response. And McCombs Supply, I've done business with, they've been around since 1953. Ken and Nora McCombs started it. You know, and they've always been integral and everything. they're not there's no integrity there anymore as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they bought it May 3rd, and then they start selling it on eBay in July. Just weeks later, a month and maybe 6 weeks later, 4 weeks later. They shipped it over to China, and I looked at the specs on their ad. It's made in China. And they are clear, translucent connectors. That are allowed to melt. It's called flame drip. It's just unbelievable. And I'm going to add that in here, the tests that they do, so everybody can see that. The problem is that eBay, so they won't do anything, and then they've got, apparently, because it's the same picture and the same ad, they've got different accounts on eBay. So they got different accounts selling them at different prices. But the other stupid thing that they're doing is they're selling both harnesses, and they had a statement in their ad that they're getting a lot of returns, 50% plus returns, and so they're selling both harnesses for the price of one. In other words, they don't know what they're doing. And that's typical of parts houses because they're not technicians. I'm a service company of 40 plus years. So I actually designed the right harness for the right application. But they saw mine and they're like, oh, well, we don't know how this works, but apparently that's for the new ice maker. So they're selling both of them, the jumper harness and the 5-pin harness that I designed because it would have never existed. What I designed it for was you didn't have to wait for Whirlpool's new ice maker. You didn't have to wait for it because it was on back order forever. So people were taking their refrigerators back and saying, I want a new refrigerator. This is ridiculous. I want an ice maker. So I designed this harness so that you could use your old existing ice maker, a modular ice maker, that everybody, if you had a Whirlpool made refrigerator, you had a modular in there. So the refrigerator is no good, but you could still keep your ice maker and not buy a new $150 ice maker. Okay, so that's why I designed it. It was never been made before. I designed this harness, and so McCombs Supply thinks they can just jump in there and steal my. They bought one. They go and copy it, and they send it to China, and they make it with substandard plugs, the translucent plugs that are allowed. Those are the words. They're allowed to drip. Flame drip, because they're made out of a plastic that is not retardant to flame, and it's allowed to catch fire and drip. I don't think anybody, if you really think about it, you don't think about that when you're buying something, because you just feel that it's safe, whatever you buy. But if it's allowed to catch fire and drip, flame drip, there's nothing safe about it, because it's going to catch something else on fire and you're going to have your house going down. So beware, make an intelligent choice that you're not going to buy substandard quality made in China. And that's what these are. They're made in China and they're sub-quality. So it's really, like I said, easy to tell when you go and you see, if you see another 5-pin harness, you go on there and you look at the connector. You see the clearness of this. You can see the connectors inside. You can't see through this one. That's how easy it is to tell the quality one that I make or the substandard. I'm going to call it dangerous and unsafe because these are allowed by UL testing to flame drip because the plastic's not resistant to flame and it allows it to catch on fire and drip. These don't have a flame drip at all, okay? Because the plastic's made so that it won't do that. So buy the quality product. I don't think you want to build a new house. So their attitude is not even the worst part. McCombs Supply. There's another one, allstarapplianceparts.com, that's selling the same garbage from China. And it's the substandard quality that, and I think they may be buying them from McCombs. I don't know. But I contacted each one of them, and they're just arrogant, and they're like, we can do whatever we want. Well, the problem is you can't, because eBay has a specific counterfeit policy. eBay is even violating this policy themselves. I've contacted them many times. I even contacted Vero, their Vero infringement program, and they just ignore you because there's millions of people on there, just like the Chinese company, they're selling knockoffs. And eBay's policy states that they don't allow counterfeit. They call it illegal, and they also call them knockoffs. And aftermarket is the same as a knockoff, as everybody knows. You go to Ford and buy a starter, that's the OEM product. If somebody else makes it, it's an aftermarket or a knockoff. Just like the expensive purses, I guess, for women, you know, there's knockoffs that come from China, but they're illegal, just like copied anything. So eBay actually calls it illegal in their counterfeit policy, if you go on their website. But they're allowing it, and they will not respond and stop these people from doing this. So they're condoning, violating their own policy of counterfeiting and not selling knockoffs on their website that they call illegal. So eBay, I suggest, is committing an illegal act themselves. If they call it illegal and they're allowing it, they're part of it. They're complicit in this illegal activity. So eBay needs to stop this and stop these people from selling these counterfeit products. I'm going to be posting the flame standard tests to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So it's just not me saying something. The website address for the flame test, that do the flame test for these products, UL testing is on there. You can go to the website and verify what I'm saying. But the bottom line of this video is eBay can't violate their own policy. I mean, you just can't do that. And I would suppose they're doing it because they're going to lose millions of dollars, maybe billions of dollars, if they stop all this. I mean, McCombs Supply, they sell a lot of aftermarket, probably 80% of it's Supco, it's all these other aftermarket brands of the OEM product. So if they ban them from just one example of selling all their knockoffs, counterfeits of the OEM products, eBay's McCombs Supply is going to have a small store on there. But they should get thrown off for severely violating eBay's policy, and everybody else should be shown off. All these Chinese companies, they're selling all this knockoff, and everybody knows it. You see it on there all the time. $2 for this, and it should be like $30, from what we're used to. But this is all knockoff stuff, and eBay is allowing it. And when you call eBay, you get foreigners. So is it? I mean, a lot of these go to the Philippines when you get, and everybody knows what I'm talking about. And it's really hard to talk with them because they don't understand very well English, and they get aggravated with you, and some of them hang up on you. I've had that happen. So who's running this outfit? Is it the ones that, I don't understand what's going on here. But the other thing that really irritates me about, I think everybody that sells on eBay, I mean, I've been selling over 20 years on eBay, and I'm so fed up with it. 13.5% they're taking from me. That's just highway robbery. It's highway robbery. And I don't know why everybody is putting up with this. So I suggest everybody should really consider, I'm looking at starting a class action against eBay for violating their own policies, and the price gouging that they're doing to everybody. You have a choice not to sell on eBay, but the point is, if you do, you should be fairly treated. I think they are price gouging, and that's not legal. And so there should be some standards where you're only allowed to go so high in what you're taking from the people that are making you all these billions of dollars. I mean, they're just ripping everybody off with all these high fees. That's outrageous, 13.5% of your sale. But worse than that, they're adding on, before they take the 13.5%, they're adding on not the price of the harness, they're adding on the shipping, they're adding on the tax, they're adding on everything on top of before they take the 13.5% off. That's not right at all. If you want to take it off the product itself, the base product, and take 13.5% off that, I understand that. But when you start taking it off all your fees on top of that, and then take it off, add all the fees and everything else, shipping, tax, that's not right at all. Where do they have a right? That's not profit for you. That's unbelievable. That's just to get more money from you, so they can run the total up to a higher number and then take the 13.5% off. That's wrong. And that's what I'm talking about, the class action lawsuit. This is wrong what they're doing. And people need to start speaking up. So I'd love to hear the comments from people, what your experiences are, and whether you would join in on some class action. But eBay, you need to stop violating your own policies. This is unbelievable what you're doing. You're allowing these people, and you will not respond, even though I'm repeatedly reporting that you're violating this. I even reported it to Vero, the Vero policy program. No response. Because they know they're doing wrong. And they're not going to change it, because it would mean losing millions and billions of dollars. They have the policy so they can choose and pick who violates it. They're going to say, you can't do it. And they did it to me. Whirlpool contacted him and said I was violating their policy. No, I wasn't. I developed this. Whirlpool, you've never made it. And I wrote to Whirlpool, to the CEO. And they emailed me back with a nice response of, I don't care about that. My ads got taken off because eBay believed Whirlpool instead of reading my ad. And it said right in there, I designed this. This is a new product. They didn't read my ad at all. But see, they choose and pick. So they consider me violating their counterfeit policy. But they're not going to go back after McCombs Supply or anybody else that's been on there and sells and makes them millions of dollars. They're not going to do that because that would hurt them. That's what I'm suggesting is going on here. Is it? I'm not making accusations. I'm stating what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing that, and what happened to me, I got violated, my ads taken off, more than one, for false reporting of me. I've reported others and nothing. No response, nothing. They keep selling on there and it's just unbelievable. There's three of them. Orbit Solutions. Supply Stuff is McCombs Supply. That's their eBay name. Supply Stuff. STUF. Supply Stuff. And then allstarapplianceparts.com. They put their website address in, and I thought that was a violation. But they allow them to put it right on their pictures. And I've reported that, and they don't do anything about it. So it's about people and how much they're selling, whether they enforce the rules or not. That's what it appears to be. If I did that, put my website at it, I'd violate, and they would ban me right away because I don't sell millions. I sell a lot, 100 to 200,000 a year. My parts, and it's not a jealousy thing. It's a right or wrong thing. McCombs Supply took my product, copied it. They stole my product. And now they're selling a knockoff that is dangerous as far as the flame. They're clear connectors that are rated V2, which is they're allowed to drip flame. In other words, when they catch on fire, they will drip and the flame down and catch other things on fire around them. And they actually put cotton below it to catch the cotton on fire and see how long the cotton will last. It's just, and they're allowed to do that. That's those V2 connectors they're using, the clear, transparent ones. The other ones, the quality ones, like I said, these ones you can't see through that I use, I only use. Same thing with this end. Both ends, these are the quality ones. They're the white, opaque ones. These connectors, you can see both ends. They're clear, they're made in China. And they're the substandard and the not safe harnesses. Anyway, so eBay, stop your garbage. Start adhering to your own policy. Your own policy, counterfeit policy, says it's illegal selling this stuff, so you're an accomplice in this illegal activity. Stop it now. This is ridiculous. And stop ripping everybody off and stop charging the 13.5% on top of adding everything on there, shipping. What does shipping and tax have to do with what percentage you're going to pay? Nothing. You're just trying to get the total up higher so you can get more money for yourself. That's insane. And it's taken all of our money. You make a sale and you take $96 off the sale. It's like, are you kidding? Maybe it should have been about $40. But because you're adding up all the shipping and everything else, you're getting a tremendous amount more. You're just ripping everybody off. So that's my opinion, and from the facts that I've seen and dealt with for over 20 years, and I'm fed up with it. Stop violating your own policies and start treating people better on eBay. All right, this is too long. It always is, but I needed to say some things, and I know that there's a lot of people out there that probably believe this, feel the same way I do, or are kind of fed up with eBay. But this violation that you're doing, you're violating eBay, is just wrong. And then not responding to us when we report these people, that's wrong. And you need to start getting some people answering the phone that actually speak better English the website's in English. So why can't you get people that speak English when we call for and try to get help with problems? So many times I've reported something and they say they're going to do something and I don't know if they understood me or not. And nothing ever gets done. This happened a lot of times over 20 years. And I just get aggravated, frustrated. It's like, are you kidding? They told me they were going to do something. Nothing. It's like nothing ever gets done when we report anything. Except when you get big people like Whirlpool giving false report about a couple of my ads, and you take them off. It's about, as far as I'm concerned, it's about the people that are more prominent, making you a lot more money, that you respond to. You don't respond to us other people. That's been my experience. Stop doing that. We're the ones that are making you money. Too much money, actually, because you're ripping us off at the same time. All right, once again, it's Michael Riley, ABA Appliance. I designed this harness to help out the customers that Whirlpool left stranded unfairly, and that's apparently still their attitude. Service is a thorn in their side, like I was told 40 years ago when first day I started management at Benton Harbor, the admin center. All right, take care.